Hi guys, welcome to today's video. Today we're going to be looking at my 24-year-old 7200 f2.8 IS, and is it still a viable lens to buy in 2025? This lens cost me £450. It was in a well-used condition, which, to be honest, like, the lens hood's pretty beaten up, but the white is all still very much white, which is good, apart from a few bits on the foot, which is very normal for these sorts of lenses. And what we're going to do is we'll look at three categories with this lens. I've got a extreme sports category, I've got a wildlife category, and I've got a motorsport category of photo to show you and talk about. And then after I've gone through those, I'll go through the overall where I think this is worth getting in 2025. So let's head on into those photos now and go from there. So the first photo we're going to look at here is a bit of an action sports type of photo here. This is a cyclist jumping on a jump. This is in low light, this is inside a forest. So you can see how much light, this is a 2.8. This old lens still allows you to get in there, gives you a completely sharp image. Look at the colourway on that bike frame, that is a chameleon colour. So it goes from like a greeny blue to purple in the different lights, like an old TVR or something like that. And it's just how sharp the image is. Yes, I could have lowered the shutter speed, got the wheels in motion, and made it look a little bit more moving, but the problem is it's so dark in there, the ISO would have gone up so high and I wouldn't have got a sharp photo. And the idea of this kind of photo shoot I was doing at the time was to advertise the brand and to advertise this rider. But you can see, great sharp imagery. This photo here is one I took a fair while ago with this lens, but is one of my favourite photos. This leopard is a young female, came straight up to the glass. This is through glass, you can see the outline of glass in her eyes, but then she just looked up. I managed to get the eyes in focus and track her there, and just got this photo here of her looking just really innocent and quite cute in a sense, which I really love. The colours are a little bit dull compared to how her coat is, but this was shot on a very cold winter's morning, so there wasn't much light coming into the enclosure, but we still got great details here, and I just think it's a really nice powerful image. And the final one here I thought I would enter is something from motorsport. I don't do a lot of motorsport anymore, but people do ask for some more motorsporty photography. So this is taken at Brands Hatch. This is at the hairpin after the first corner, people who know Brands Hatch, and you can sit on the inside of that corner and you can pan over the cars. And you see I'm using quite a low shutter speed here to make sure the background's really nice and blurred. The wheels are in motion, but I've managed to track it so we've got the car body itself completely in focus and really nice and sharp. So you can see all the details there, including the driver inside there as well. And again, say the colours, this was a pretty bright day, so I had the luxury of being able to move stuff around a little bit more to get the photo, but a really nice bright photo, really sharp photo, and a really nice photo. In certain circumstances, say this is Brands Hatch works really well at the hairpin, because you can just sit there and take them all as they come through. Most tracks you would need a slightly longer lens unless you're in a pit, but yeah, works absolutely fine. Really nice sharp lens. Okay, so those are the three images there we've gone through. So a bit of a mix up than usual, not just pure wildlife. A lot of you have been asking for more motorsporty stuff, so I've kind of thrown a bit of motorsport in there too for you guys. But what do I think of the lens? For the money itself, for £450, this is an absolute bargain of a lens. It's an f2.8 with IS. I've used this on my R3, on the R6 beforehand, and have had zero issues with compatibility, with focusing, with sharpness, with colours, anything. So if you're on mirrorless, works absolutely fine. I've used obviously on my 1DX Mark II and a 1DX. The focusing systems on those two cameras with this lens, absolutely amazing. It's absolutely great to use, and I would 100% recommend if you just want a 7200, which everyone should really have one in their bag, but I get that people don't want to spend the money and get a 2.8 necessarily and might get an f4 instead. If you can go for it, go for the 2.8. The extra light ability, low light ability it gives you to use the 2.8 is amazing. How sharp the imagery is. Yes, they're harder to service now because they are such an older lens, but the jump ups, I think about £850 to almost £1,000 for the Mark II now, which yes is a little bit lighter, and you can still have it serviced just about at the moment, but it's twice the price for pretty much the same lens. It does, the Mark II I have tested, my dad has one, so I have access to Mark II. They do work a little bit better on mirrorless. They are slightly quicker with the autofocus and communication. Remember, this is a 24-year-old lens, so mirrorless DSLRs had only just really come out when this lens was a thing. This came out at the same time as the 1D Mark I, so these came out side by side, and you're talking about gone from a 4 megapixel DSLR to, we were testing on the R7, so 32 megapixel mirrorless camera with electronic AF and everything like that. It's a big jump from those times, but it still works. I say it's not quite as quick as the Mark II. The difference between the Mark II and the Mark III is literally the body. The internals are identical, so don't go and buy a Mark III if you don't have to. The Mark II is the same lens, it's just the body is different, so there's just no point going there. But for the money, to get a 2.8, and when I first came back into photography, I only had this lens, a ×2 converter, and my 1DX. So I was using the ×2 converter, I needed the extra reach, and I was using this normally as its lens with my 1DX Mark I. That was all I had when I came back to photography 4 or 5 years ago now. And that worked really well for me for the first year and a bit, and then I got the 500mm, 300mm, and then it all went downhill from there, and I started collecting cameras and doing the YouTube stuff. So you can 100% use this with adapters as well without any problems at all for pretty much any application. Say I've shown you a motorsport application. Yes, that is a very specific one to brand hatch, but there are other circuits. Even Silverstone, I was using this with a 2x converter and getting good results with it. So it's definitely usable in that situation too. With extreme sports, so like downhill mountain biking, like I was shooting there, absolutely fine as long as you can get really nice and close to the subject. That photo was taken at 70mm, so you've still got loads of room in there for that. And of course, wildlife portraits as well, especially like that leopard one that I've shown you there, where you got nice and close. You can get great detail through here. This paired with like a 5D RS with like 50 megapixels would be incredible, and that's something I'm going to get to at some point when I start doing the 5D collection and I get through all those. I feel in the back of my head I might end up using the 5DSR quite a bit more than I think I will, just because I've never had a really high megapixel camera, and paired with a lens like this, the image potential in my brain is huge. So we'll see what that looks like in the future. But even though it's 24 years old, say the one thing you've got to be careful of is servicing. Try and get one that isn't beaten up. Try and get one that looks like it's well looked after, has the original packaging, box, bag, everything that's meant to come with. That usually is a tendency to show that the person cared about the lens. So try and get one like that, and it should last you well. There are people who still service these, you just have to go hunting for it. So hope you enjoyed the video, hope you found it useful, and I will catch you in the next one. Subscribe and like. See you again soon. Goodbye.